the channel. Thank you guys for joining me this week. I'm really excited to see what the runes have to say for the week ahead. Excuse me. But before we get into it, I do want to talk about the astrological energies that we will be dealing with for the week ahead. Now, we do have a full moon in Virgo coming up on Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken. We also have something really important going on for a particular generation of people, and it is the end of the Saturn return for those who have Saturn in Aquarius, because Saturn is moving into Pisces on the 7th, so on Tuesday as well, but very early in the morning. I believe it's somewhere around 5:30 in the morning. So why this is significant? There's going to be a very powerful shift between the energies of Saturn, which is geared towards our relationship to structure, towards time, towards how we identify the patterns and the relationships that we have to those internal patterns. Moving Saturn's energy from Aquarius into Pisces. Pisces being the energy of the mystic, the energy of open flow. It's not necessarily the most comfortable sign for Saturn to transit, but it is going to bring about a great change in our relationship to how we flow and how we have boundaries. How we allow our boundaries to maintain their strength without necessarily being hard walls that prevent people from coming in, right? So it's going to be a really interesting shift. I think a lot of us have already been feeling much more elevated, much more hopeful. We've been feeling this energy of enjoyment or revelry that's been like floating in the air a bit. That also could be because of the coming spring, which is really exciting for those of us in the Northern Hemisphere. Spring will be happening, I believe, somewhere around the 21st or the 20th of this month, which is going to be really fun. That's when the vernal equinox comes to pass. So lots of magic this month, lots of great generational changes and shifts, and lots of beginning of new chapters for many of us. So let's go into the more quotidian stuff instead of the larger monthly things that we will be experiencing. Well, that's a lot of runes today. Okay. Also, what I wanted to say too, because sometimes when you do cast runes, the runes will create an image or will create this, it's like a gestalt, right? And you give yourself an opportunity to see what kind of thoughts, paradigms, or archetypes come up when you look at that picture. So what I see here, it looks as if it's a cup or a cradle that's holding energy, or that's holding something falling. So it feels to me that a lot of us this week are going to be experiencing a lot of great and rapid changes in our emotional or in our physical life, and there's a message of support from the spiritual world that is saying, we're here to catch you, don't worry, we're here to support you. There is a lot of changes happening, there are a lot of shifts, but they are going to be good in nature, or they are going to result in deeper awareness that you can utilize for greater advancement in your life. So I'm gonna start like on this little like the cradle at the bottom here. So what's being held in the cradle, because we have 3 runes sitting here and 3 runes that are falling into it. So the 3 that are falling in, we have Ingwas, which is the rune of grounding, the rune of centering. We also have Isa, or the rune of ice. And we have Tirwas, which is in Merkstaff position. Tirwas being the rune of the law, being the rune of strength, vitality, vigor, but in a more justice sense. So for those of you who do tarot, it would be very much equated to the Justice card. So to see these 3 as the 3 runes that are falling into the little cradle here at the bottom, How I interpret this is we may have experienced at the beginning of this week, or may experience through the course of this week, a loss or an argument or an experience that may have been difficult for us, because Tirwas and Merkstav, since Tirwas deals with conflicts, it deals with energies around Mars, which has to do with how we maintain our boundaries, how we maintain our relationship to others through our words and through our actions. Tirwas connecting to this energy, being in Merkstav, to me represents it's time to ground and to center ourselves from perhaps a destabilizing energy or conversation that we had had. So moving forward into the week, we have Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday feel very much like giving yourself time to freeze, to pause, to relax, to center yourself into your energy again. And the cradle here at the bottom, we have Lagus, which is the rune of the lake. We have Haglas, which is the rune of the hail or the storm. And we have Wunya, which is the rune of joy and happiness, ecstasy as well. So it feels to me that there's this energy from spirit, or this message that's coming in to say there's a lot of abundance of creativity, there's a wealth of joy and happiness that is willing and ready to support you and to catch you. And it is a reminder that there are things in our life that may happen this week that are outside of our control. Sometimes we get caught up in a storm, or we get caught up in an emotional altercation, or we get caught up in conversations or difficulties, or we may have difficulties at work. I'm hearing that for some of us, we may have an argument with a coworker, an argument with a boss, or we may just be feeling a little bit off-centered when it comes to a workspace environment. So this is a reminder for us to remember that there is so much joy and happiness and a wellspring of creativity within you and within your community that is able to support you at this time. And that sometimes we do get caught up in storms, we do get caught up in circumstances that are outside of our control, that come to pass without even us meaning them to, or perhaps that kind of ruffle our feathers, right? And it feels to me like it's time to ground and center, to know that everything is going to be okay. So this week is going to be a week of rest and recovery, I would say. We also have Perthro is waiting for us at the end of the week. And I find it quite interesting because we have, as I had mentioned earlier in the video, a great energy surrounding Saturn and surrounding Saturn's transit. Saturn being a very strong planet that is associated, as I had mentioned, with our internal structures and our external structures. It is connected with our relationship to time and how we move in time. Also the routines that we have, especially working through Virgo and the full moon that's coming in Virgo as well. So there's a lot to be said about perhaps we may not feel that we are in the places that we need to be, or we may feel this week that there's a lot that we wish we could have accomplished already. Or perhaps this week we may also feel, for some of us, that there is so much that we have survived, is the word that's coming up, that survived for the past 3 years, because that is the course of Saturn in Aquarius has been for the past 3 years. So there's so much that we have survived on a socio-political level, so much that we have survived even in our interpersonal relationships, that it is important to remember this week as we transition out of a powerful space from Saturn and Saturn's energy moving into Pisces, that we can center our life around hope. We can center our life around joy. We can center our life around creativity and happiness. And that we can do this even when storms continue around us. We will always have a home to return to, and that home is within. And also connected to our community and the people that we find that support us. So this Perthro that has fallen on the edge of the reading, in a position where the lot cup is facing upwards, as if it's allowing blessings to come in. It's reminding me very much of the Ace of Cups in the Tarot. So it feels to me that towards the end of the week, we're really going to be feeling not only the astrological shift in our spiritual and our emotional life, but we're going to be feeling it also in our mental and our physical lives. We're going to be feeling this shift towards the end of the week of centering ourselves, or being invited to center ourselves around hope and center ourselves around creativity and joy, as we leave behind this very tumultuous past few years, which is quite a big deal. I think this week is going to be quite a big deal and quite a big beginning to March. So I hope that resonates with you guys. Of course, if you like the video, please like and subscribe. It does help. I do want to see this community grow. It would be really nice to see that. And thank you guys for your patience. I have been traveling the past month, so it's been a little bit wild to find time to make the videos, so thank you for returning. Also, I would love to hear in the comments below how you've been feeling in regards to the shift of Saturn, if you've been feeling it, and if you've been finding yourself more emotional or feeling a sense of gratitude or whatever it is that's been coming up for you, because this is a very significant astrological shift that we are experiencing this week. So, my greatest love to you guys. Thank you for watching. I do appreciate it, and I'll see you guys next week. Okay? Bye, everyone.